I was confused. I keep hearing about artificial intelligence and chips and GPUs and CPUs and how do they relate to each other, and then how are these chips processed and what actually do they do, and then where does Intel fit into it, where does NVIDIA fit into it, and where does AMD fit into it, and which should I invest in, and how much should I put in, or should I get into all of them, and is this the time to buy or not to buy? This reminded me so much of 1989 when I heard about the World Wide Web and how it was going to give me access to all this information, how it was going to change my life, and I thought, I need to do something. So what did I do? I went to ChatGPT. That's what I did. And I started asking questions, and ChatGPT kept giving me answers, which gave me more questions to answer. And then I said, I need to share this with my audience. And I said, my God, there's just too much there. How do I do that? Well, I decided I'll turn it over to my avatar, and I'll let my avatar sift through it and then go and make a presentation and share it with my audience. And then maybe I can keep watching the avatar and eventually I can come to understand it. So that's what I did, and I want to share it with you.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
Thank you, Kerry. I've been digging into the chip industry because I feel it's important that we have an understanding of the technology and the players if we're going to make good investment decisions. Here's what I've found. GPUs, graphics processing units, and CPUs, central processing units, are key components for artificial intelligence, AI, applications. GPUs are highly parallelizable and capable of performing large numbers of calculations simultaneously, making them ideal for performing the complex mathematical computations required for many AI tasks such as training deep neural networks. They are commonly used for accelerating deep learning training and inference algorithms. CPUs, on the other hand, are better suited for tasks that require sequential processing, such as data preprocessing, and some aspects of machine learning like decision tree models. They are also necessary for managing the overall system operations such as input-output tasks. There are several companies that are leaders in the design and manufacturing of GPU and CPU chips, each with its own strengths and specialties. Here are a few examples. NVIDIA is a leading company in GPU design and manufacturing, particularly for the gaming industry, but also for AI and high-performance computing applications. They have developed the CUDA platform for programming GPUs and are known for their deep learning accelerators, such as the Tesla V100 and A100 GPUs. AMD is another leading company in GPU design and manufacturing, particularly for the gaming industry, but also for AI and high-performance computing applications. Their Radeon Instinct series of GPUs is specifically designed for AI applications, and they have recently released the MI100 accelerator, which is optimized for machine learning and scientific computing. Intel is a leading company in CPU design and manufacturing, particularly for desktop and laptop computers, but also for servers and data centers. They have developed the Xeon line of CPUs, which are optimized for server workloads, and are also investing in AI and machine learning with their Nirvana platform. AMD is also a major player in CPU design and manufacturing, particularly for desktop and laptop computers, but also for servers and data centers. Their Ryzen and EPYC CPUs are popular choices for high-performance computing and server workloads, and they have recently released the Instinct MI100 accelerator, which combines both CPU and GPU capabilities for AI and HPC workloads. Another company that Kerry asked me to look into is ASML. ASML is a leading supplier of semiconductor lithography equipment, which is used in the manufacturing of advanced microchips, including CPUs, GPUs, and other specialized chips used in AI applications. While ASML does not directly develop or produce AI hardware or software, their lithography equipment plays a critical role in the production of the advanced chips used in AI systems. As the field of AI continues to evolve and demand for high-performance computing and specialized chips grows, ASML's lithography equipment will become increasingly important for chipmakers looking to produce the advanced chips required for AI applications. In particular, ASML's EUV, extreme ultraviolet, lithography technology, which is used to create extremely small features on chips, is critical for the production of the most advanced and powerful chips used in AI systems. That's a lot to digest, but Kerry and I feel strongly that as we move further and further into the AI revolution, it's highly important as investors that we have a basic understanding of the technology and who the players are and how they relate to each other. I hope this was informative and I'll be exploring it further on your behalf. Now I'll turn it back over to Kerry.
Okay, so that's my jump into technology. And I think it's important that we do this together and that we understand that the world is changing and we have to be in a position to take advantage of it. And that means we've got to understand who the players are, how they relate to each other, and what their positions are going to be in the future. So let's take a look at each one of these stocks individually. And what I want to share with you now is the graphing and the technology that says what's the momentum taking them. I've been taught most of this by Mark. He's on our Discord, and he does swing trading, but he's taught me how to use the 200-day, the 50-day, and the 9-day moving averages, and the MACD, and some of the Scholastica to predict or to get a feel of where are these stocks going in the short term and where might they go in the long term. Let's look at Intel first of all. I don't see anything good about this chart whatsoever. It's on a downward trend. The information that I read about it is Intel dropped the ball. They had the CPU industry sewed up and then just kind of sat on their hands, and bad management did them getting them anywhere. So they're down below the 200-day and below the 9 and the 50. So I'm not going to jump into this. I'm going to sit and watch it. I'm going to use what my avatar taught me so that I know where they're playing. I know they're building a plant somewhere in, I believe it's Arizona, and maybe another one in Ohio. And they're saying, and I think they're getting some government help in doing that. They're saying they're going to be a player in this industry in the future, but I don't think they're there on the short term. Then let's look at AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. I don't own them right now, but as you can see, they're below their 200, or they're above the 200. They're below the 50. I want to see a movement, a trend. I see a sideways movement on this graph at this time, so I'm not a buyer at that point. And then NVIDIA, I was in NVIDIA, and then when the market started to turn, I got out of it. When I got out of all my big tech stocks, I got into NVIDIA most recently, and it's traded me quite well. It's in an upward trend. It's above its 200, its 50, and its 9-day, and it just recently gapped up on February the 23rd. And a lot of this was because of the news that ChatGPT and artificial intelligence was going to need the chips, the GPU chips made by or mastered by NVIDIA. And then again, because of their dominance in the gaming industry, we know that they are capable of what was it they said, processing small transactions or small events very, very rapidly in a subsequent order. So NVIDIA is a player, and I want to stay there. And then the last chart I wanted to go over was ASML. I learned about ASML, I guess, over a year ago. They're a Netherlands company, and they are the ones who make the equipment that makes the chips. So if Intel wants to get into the GPU business, they got to buy, and it's about I think it's a $2 billion machine that's the size of a semi-truck that only AML makes, and so whoever wants to get into this business, and there is going to be new chip factories, number one, because of the demand, and number two, to get away from our dependence on China and Taiwan. So we want to move this manufacturing back to the United States, and we want to move that technology, because this is the technology who's going to change the winners and losers, because it's all wrapped around artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence, if you don't really understand it, the easiest way for me to explain it is we've got 40 years of data that we have accumulated since the introduction of the digital revolution. And then we went back and gathered all the data that we could all the way back to the origination of mankind. So we have this enormous amount of data, and it's digital. And the artificial intelligence gives us the ability to go in and access that data through computers and through these chips, GPU and CPU chips, so that we can make better decisions. And the essence of it then is that as the chip learns, it builds its learning base. I think of it from this way. I have one mind. I have a tremendous amount of time, 76 years, so I have a lot of data that I have gathered. I am losing my processing capabilities, but these computers are gaining processing capabilities. And as you think of your mind, as you learn one thing, you relate it to everything else that you have learned it to, and you keep filling the cup and filling the cup. Well, and eventually you fill the cup. Well, in this business with GPUs and CPUs, you never fill the cup. In fact, then as you learn from your new learnings piled on top of your past learnings, that's how a computer works. That's how general intelligence works, and the learning capability. The fear is that eventually the computer has so much knowledge it doesn't need the human, and the computer takes over. We've heard some dissertations about that. That's really not something that I'm concerned about, because I don't worry about things I can't do anything about. I can do something about this. So I'm holding my position in ASML. I'm holding my position in NVIDIA, and I'm trying to make an entry into AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, and I'm just going to sit back and watch and tell and see if they get their act together. Okay, that's my take on this. And what your takeaways, I hope, are you now have a better understanding of the GPUs and the CPUs and the players. But I also want you to take away that you can if you'll learn how to swing trade, you'll learn how to buy, and that's being done by Mark on our Discord, part of our Platinum program. Go take a look at it. There's a link in the Discord or in the description, and come join us and make better investment decisions. And I hope that's what I'm doing for you. And reward me with a like and subscribe, and let's work together to make this an enjoyable activity. It hasn't been so enjoyable the last year, but I think it's going to get enjoyable again very soon. Talk to you again tomorrow.